Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni, the great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Yes, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, oil theft, Kyari raises the alarm, alleges threat to life, says NNPCL engaged private security contractors to curb theft, declares 2 trunk lines restored, national oil company open to forensic auditing, country and $741 billion from oil gas in 21 years, says NATI. National Assembly, EFCC, ICPC seek transparency in petroleum industry to boost revenue. Daily oil production records 2 months high, above 1 million barrels in October. Yes, the group managing director of NNPCL, Kyari, raising that alarm there. Of course, we saw a situation where we have security agents, soldiers, Navy, patrolling our waters, policing, I use that word reservedly, our waters, but our crude oil being stolen by big-time thieves. Now we engage the locals. Because when that contract was given to Tompolo, many raised eyebrow. It was an issue of debate. But today we know better that the locals can protect our oil facilities better than our security agency, which should be the shame of a nation anyway. But if you expect that, tells you that people involved in this theft are big-time thieves. Now the lives of Kyari is being threatened. We hope the security agencies will give him all the protection he needs at this time. But of course, things seem to be looking upward in terms of production output. And if we continue at this trajectory, stealing curtailed to the barest minimum, then Nigeria should have no problem meeting OPEC quota, and indeed should be asking for more from OPEC so that we can sell more and get more money at a time. Nigeria seems to be in a deep debt crisis. Now, also on the front page of this day, a number of stories there, but the Nation newspaper is also reporting this oil thief. The Nation newspaper, oil thieves, oil thieves threatening my life, says NNPC GMD. EFCC, we are investigating crude oil thefts. ICPC NATI demand transparency. Now, another story, the front page of this day, 74, this day now, 74 hospitalized, 70 vehicles damaged as thugs attack Atiku's campaign in Maiduguri. It's a lie. Nobody attacked the rally, say police. PDP condemns development, says party will sweep polls in Borno. Others declare Tinubu APC can't secure 25% in 24 states. Now, other newspapers are reporting this story. If I just make a few comments. The Daily Sun newspaper, panic in Maiduguri as gunmen attack Atiku's campaign convoy, scores injured, hospitalized. I am not resigning as PTP candidate's campaign boss, Udom. While the Vanguard newspaper, outrage trails attack on Atiku's campaign convoy in Borno. The Punch newspaper reporting this story, controversy surrounds Atiku convoy attack in Borno. Ex-VP's convoy attacks thrice, scores injured, APC responsible, PDP chairman. PDP faction behind attacks count APC out. Onanuga, Borno APC chair. There was no attack. Suspected hoodlum arrested, say police spokesman. Now, the Daily Trust also reporting this story. Presidential race controversy trails attack on Atiku's convoy in Maiduguri. We were attacked by hoodlums carrying APC flags. Former VP, it's fake news, campaign rally held peacefully. Police, thug arrested. His stage managed to score cheap popularity, Borno government. Well, on account of our reporter's diary, we can see there's no controversy that Atiku Abubakar's convoy was attacked. Our reporter who attached to the Atiku campaign, Mary Chinda, was on that entourage yesterday. And yesterday night she was on a program, News Night, where she found she had a bandaged hand because in that fray yesterday she had to run for dear life. Missed the bus that she entered, attempted to jump into any other bus. Of course, she had bruised hands, bandaged hands. I hope she's fine now. She should be receiving treatment. She also needs to take a break from the trauma of that attack. There was an attack on Atiku's convoy. The rally held successfully. Two different things. So what is the police talking about? You arrested one hoodlum, the police said. But from accounts of reporters on the ground, there was staccato of gunshots and vehicles were destroyed. If we look at the Vanguard newspaper, yes, the Vanguard newspaper, the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, you see a number of these vehicles destroyed. I wouldn't believe that the police were nowhere to be found when this was happening, only to say, yes, because the rally went on successfully, therefore there was no attack. What a fallacy. Talking of two different incidents, Atiku's convoy, the rally that held. Yes, if the police were able to manage things at the rally and there was no incident, kudos. But to say, because of that, there was no attack on Atiku's convoy, will not be saying the truth, because persons were injured, vehicles were destroyed in that attack. Now, the Guardian newspaper, wasting assets, experts doubt federal government's capacity to fund 20.5 trillion naira budget. FEC approves team to sell, reorder abandoned property. Government proposed asset sales is media propaganda, say officials. FG yet to engage advisors. Program will not appeal to foreign investors, says Chioke. Legal consultant could stall process. Lawyer. Legal constraints could stall process. Buhari's asset liquidation performance is 0.65%. Only 5.92 billion realized from privatization proceeds in 7 years. Asset disposal model erode countries' intergenerational equity. Of course, you can see the photograph of this is the Federal Secretariat rotting away,
and we all know
trees growing.
We all know how that is. That was sold to a property developer. It was about to start work. Then some people with power said they can't continue. Then they held it down. Then nothing is being done. Then that asset is going to be a dead asset at the expense of some people in power. You see the kind of country we run. We see how we waste assets.
Yes. Now, the New Telegraph newspaper, PDP appeals to Jonathan to wade in as G5 governors shun Maiduguri rally. Reconciliation door open, still open. Wike is saying speculation trail argues absence. Police debunk attack on PDP's convoy. Say 32-year-old man throws stones at the convoy. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly. Now, we just look at the New York Times, how a wave became a ripple for Republicans. Votes created a stalemate, which for Democrats tantamount to a victory. Well, of course, the Wall Street Journal, GOP near slim House win. Democrats fend off a red wave as Senate margin remains tight. Georgia goes to runoff. Ruben and Rufai, the American midterm elections.
Yes, the American midterm elections. The last time we discussed this, we were saying that midterm elections are usually very tricky for American presidents, as we saw with Clinton, as we saw with Obama, as we saw even with Donald Trump, And as we saw also with, if we go back in history, 1894 with Grover Cleveland and also other presidents. But for President Biden, he seems to have done very well, contrary to expectations. Best result, midterm result, it will appear in 40 years. And if you reduce it to 20 years, then you say since George W. Bush. Because the landslide red wave that was expected did not happen. And the margin is so close. The projection is that the Republicans may well at the end of the day take the House of Representatives, where the difference now is about 178 to about 217. But no, not 217, 207. But there's no guarantee that the Republicans will get as much as, well, if they get 218, the simple majority, they cannot get up to 250. So that's some comfort. And then the Senate is really very close. It's on knife edge, 48-49. And the election has not yet been determined in Nevada and Arizona. Yeah. And in Georgia, there's likely to be a runoff in December. And President Biden attributes this good performance, as it were, to the fact that his policies are working. But what we see is that the American people, they've not given either parties, any special advantage. So the gridlock that was predicted may not happen. And the Democrats, they've done so well that they even took Pennsylvania, from us with Fetterman, who had been receiving treatment for cancer. The lieutenant governor is now going to the Senate. Another major development is how President Trump,
former President Trump,
did not get a chance here, because all his candidates that he backed did not win. And he's so frustrated, he's blaming his wife, he's blaming his children, he's blaming everybody.
So his so-called dominance of the Republican Party has taken a big hit.
And DeSantis, in Florida, 44-year-old DeSantis seems to have done so well that may affect the chances of Donald Trump running for president in 2024. So Fetterman and then DeSantis' performance, two major highlights of this outcome of this election. And the fact that President Biden can afford to beat his chest and say, well, we're doing well.
He says on the 15th he'll make an announcement. Let's see how Trump
That's Trump.
What he will say.
He was expecting
I'm sure all of this has destroyed that announcement now.
He was expecting
and the future of the party is obviously Ron DeSantis. It's more hardline, and people are listening to him more. So, I don't know. Let's see how it.
But it's good to see that the Republican Party is recovering from this Trump. Dominance.
So I think what a lot of independents, so these elections were quite unique. A lot of independents normally tilt towards the party in opposition for midterms, but this time a lot of independents, quite a number of them voted the Democrats. I think one thing that also hampered Trump's chances and the Republican Party's chances was the denial of the elections.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni.